Why does Elon Musk dress like he just got out of a Hot Topic? I am so sick of that guy trying to rewrite his origin story.
When Bill Burr opens his mouth, you know something brutal's coming, and Elon Musk walked right into the crosshairs. Burr absolutely demolished him, tearing apart Musk's strange boasting, massive ego, and social media meltdowns like someone who's completely fed up with the nonsense. And guess who's absolutely fuming about it? None other than Donald J. Trump. Because apparently when a billionaire gets verbally destroyed, he somehow makes it about himself. This is pure, unscripted, merciless comedy at its absolute best. And believe me, it's something you definitely shouldn't pass up.
What happened to the fucking Twitter guy? I don't watch the news. That guy has lost his fucking mind. That dude has lost his fucking mind. I also don't understand neo-Nazi people. I don't understand how they're in this country going, support the troops, America, love it or leave it, and all of this type of shit. And it's like, all those guys who died on D-Day, they were fighting Hitler.
Before we continue, hit that like button and subscribe because you definitely don't want to miss this one. Bill Burr never pulls punches. The guy's the kind of comedian who will mock you, your relatives, and your job in one sentence while making it sound like just a simple remark. And trust me, when Bill Burr targets someone, they should prepare for the burn. And when he decided to tear into Elon Musk on public television, it wasn't just teasing, it was a complete takedown of everything Elon Musk stands for. And when you add Donald Trump to the situation with his personal link to Musk, we all know Musk backed Trump's campaign. It created a perfect mix of pride and privilege. Of course, Trump got angry. It's tough to picture the man sitting quietly when his new tech friend is getting ripped apart on live TV.
I never look at my emails. I was scrolling through my emails and it said my Twitter account had been flagged for I don't even tweet anymore. It had been flagged for what a fucking baby. Just like Hitler, a fucking baby.
To really understand how wild this whole thing was, you need to get the connection between Trump and Musk. Forget about the old rivalry between Trump and most of Silicon Valley. The friendship between these two has been building ever since Musk openly showed support for Trump, like some kind of rich guy friendship. Musk's public support of Trump during his campaign matters. It wasn't just about the money he gave. Musk's involvement was a meaningful sign of loyalty to Trump, a signal to wealthy people joining together. Musk didn't just like Trump, he was really involved, even supported Trump's political views on many issues. In a world where Silicon Valley and Trump's style of politics usually don't mix, Musk basically took a burning stick and set that division on fire.
But I also think he's got a big company to run, and so at some point he's going to be going back. He wants to.
You just want to keep him around?
But I'd keep him as long as I could keep him. He's a very talented guy. We found numbers that nobody can even believe, like 400 billion, 500 billion. It could be close to $1 trillion by the time they end on different things. I will say he's got, despite the way he's been treated, so he's an American patriot.
Given Trump's tendency to blow up relationships, how long do you think Elon Musk will last?
I don't think this bromance is going to go on too much longer. There was an interesting scene at the end of last week when Musk went over to the Pentagon, at least according to the New York Times, to get a briefing on the China war plans, which would be an incredible outrage if true. But Trump came out after the meeting very strongly and said he shouldn't see the war plans, and Musk may have conflicts of interest because of his business in China. That was an interesting shot across the bow by Trump, I thought.
Here comes Bill Burr with words sharp enough to slice through steel. Burr with his trademark biting. Humor ripped into Musk like scissors through paper, ridiculing everything from Musk's tendency to launch businesses with brilliant concepts that collapse quicker than discount furniture, to his Twitter behavior, to his endless teenage-like posturing. Bill Burr exposed Musk for acting like some sort of technology deity, when actually the guy's entire persona is constructed on a foundation of emptiness and unsuccessful ventures.
Likely to still see the sort of Bill Burr perspective on economics, which is totally ignorant and, by the way, utterly hypocritical given the fact that he's a millionaire himself who makes money saying used to be funny things on TV. But here, for example, is Bill Burr going after Elon Musk.
You're going to leave the country because of one guy with dyed hair plugs and a laminated face who makes a bad car and has an obsolete social media platform? You're going to leave this? Why doesn't he leave? Why isn't he stopped? What are we so afraid of this guy who can't fight his way out of a wet paper bag? Why do liberals just sit back and not? They have nothing.
You got to speak up about it. You don't just go like, oh my God, what?
We've all witnessed the SpaceX takeoffs, right? Okay, they have rockets. But Musk's self-created image as humanity's future simply doesn't hold water when you examine how frequently his ventures have paused or failed to deliver what was promised. And let's not even discuss when Musk sent his own automobile into orbit. Yeah, because that's exactly what a true innovator would do, right?
What happens when you take off and it separates into stages? How does the first stage get reused?
Well, have you seen how the Falcon 9 stages work, where they come back and land?
No.
You haven't seen that? Wow.
So does it come down with parachutes? Does it, like, how does it land?
No, it lands propulsively with the thrusters, with the engines.
Really?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. So blow from assault rifle might go like Mach 2, low Mach 2. This is going Mach 23. 1, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As Bill Burr skillfully destroyed Musk's reputation, it was hilarious until suddenly it wasn't, because as everyone knows, Donald Trump doesn't appreciate anyone, particularly Bill Burr, making fun of his favorite guy, Musk. Burr's merciless breakdown of Musk's pride, his strange behaviors, and his Twitter failures had everyone bawling with laughter. But Trump found nothing amusing. It wasn't merely the jokes. It was that Burr was attacking Musk's core identity, destroying the portrayal of the brilliant tech leader that Trump had invested so much energy building up. The laughter faded and a more serious tone began to emerge, because for Trump, this wasn't simply about Musk being mocked. It concerned his own reputation.
Fire up these days more than usual.
Nerds.
Yeah.
The nerds that own the politician. All these tech nerds that want to build robots because they don't know how to talk to hot women.
Yeah.
They're gonna take over the world.
Trump and Musk have experienced much together. Their connection isn't merely based on contributions or some positive Twitter endorsements. It's intimate, profoundly intimate. Musk wasn't just some ordinary Silicon Valley wealthy person tossing money at Trump's campaign. No, Musk was among the few wealthy individuals willing to openly align with Trump, the complete outsider in conventional political circles. And that wasn't just a political backing, it was a comprehensive alliance, an unspoken arrangement that Musk would support Trump in exchange for some degree of power or position within America's technological future.
We're going to also slash something else, the waste in our bloated federal bureaucracy. We will create the new Department of Government Efficiency, headed by a gentleman named Elon Musk, who's here someplace. I don't know where the hell he is. He's here someplace. Come here, Elon. Did you see his rocket yesterday? It was captured.
But an even bigger one was when Musk jumped in and jumped all over the stage in the return to Butler, Pennsylvania on October 5th, when Trump goes up to the mic and says, as I was saying, in one of the greatest reopening lines in presidential campaign history, with Musk jumping and supporting him and no longer making little tweets. What did you mean by that, Elon? What did you mean by this? Suddenly, there he is saying, I got $100 million and I am backing Donald Trump. Dark MAGA rode into the sunset that day.
Musk was visible on the front lines openly backing Trump in a manner that appeared almost careless. He didn't just post supportive tweets, he put serious support behind Trump's campaign, indicating to everyone that he was prepared to take chances. For the cause, Musk wasn't just a supporter, he was nearly a collaborator, and that shows how deep their relationship extends. He wasn't just positioned behind Trump giving approval from a distance, he was actively engaged in crafting the narrative, testing limits, and ultimately risking his own reputation. Indeed, one could argue that Musk's prominent support for Trump arrived when Trump needed it most. The remainder of Silicon Valley was essentially quiet, reluctant to associate with someone viewed as harmful by political insiders. But Musk wasn't just offering Trump a place at the table, he was helping him redefine the guidelines for political influence within the tech world. This wasn't a simple political endorsement, it was strategic cooperation. Musk believed in Trump's capacity to reshape global order in his vision. And in return, Trump viewed Musk as an important figure in the technology-dominated future he was envisioning.
We have a man who has a seriously high IQ. You know, I'm a person that believes in high IQs, and his is about as high as they get. He launched a rocket 3 weeks ago, and then he went to Pennsylvania to campaign because he considered this more important than launching rockets that cost billions of dollars. Elon Musk. Elon. What a job. What a job he does. And he happens to be a really good guy. You know, he likes this place. I can't get him out of here. He just likes this place. Elon Musk!
I'm not just MAGA. I'm dark, gothic MAGA. Well, the energy in this room is incredible. All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that.
So when Burr started tearing apart Musk's carefully built public image, it wasn't just a personal attack on the tech boss, it was an attack on the very heart of the alliance Trump had worked so hard to build. Trump couldn't stand to see his golden boy torn down in public, especially not by someone like Bill Burr, who had no problem exposing the cracks in Musk's larger-than-life image. For Trump, that wasn't just a roast, it was a threat to the reality he'd created. Burr wasn't just taking Musk down, he was challenging the main foundation of Trump's strategy, and that, for Trump, was simply not okay. Now imagine this situation. You're Donald Trump, a man whose ego is as fragile as glass, and you've spent months, maybe even years, connecting yourself with a tech boss who, despite all the weird decisions and endless scandals, still somehow holds a certain status. Elon Musk was the guy. The media liked him because he was the one tech boss willing to openly support Trump while working on space travel and electric cars. Musk's image was as tied to Trump's as Trump's hair is with his weird sense of reality. Musk became the symbol of the kind of smart thinking that Trump could use to prove that his plans were more than just chaos. They were new and forward-thinking. They were about the future. Trump's followers had no idea what was really happening behind the scenes, but Musk's influence helped give Trump's campaign a shine of credibility, even if it was all based on empty talk and noise. So when Bill Burr of all people decides to take Musk down a level, Trump loses it. You can almost picture him walking around the room, yelling into his phone about how Burr doesn't get it, how Musk is the future, how he's the tech genius that everyone should bow down to. For someone who has spent decades building an image as the ultimate tough guy, having Bill Burr, a comedian known for calling out everything from Hollywood's fakeness to the craziness of today's politics, attack. Musk, a man he's carefully held up as his modern-day genius, hits Trump in a very specific spot: his ego. Trump has always been about controlling the story. Having his Musk, made fun of on national TV by Bill Burr, is like having the rug pulled out from under him. And we all know Trump doesn't like surprises, especially not when it involves his carefully chosen circle of powerful friends. So, what does Trump do? He starts tweeting.
To ask you, the President Trump put out a Truth Social today saying that everybody in the cabinet was happy with you. I just wondered if you had heard otherwise, and if you had heard anything about members of the cabinet who weren't happy with the way things were going, and if so, what are you doing to address those any dissatisfaction?
You want to let the cabinet speak just for a second? Is anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, well, throw him out of here.
He can't stop himself from tweeting every time someone dares challenge the people he's chosen to surround himself with. He can't help it. Whether it's personal attacks on Joe Biden, rants about the election, or getting angry at anyone who dares criticize his allies, Trump's Twitter feed is a non-stop stream of desperate attention-seeking. And Burr's roasting of Musk gives him all the fuel he needs to feed the flames. We can only imagine the kind of meltdown Trump had as he watched Burr tear Musk apart with his sharp, sarcastic wit. It's a wild thought. Trump sitting in his chair, holding his phone, rage tweeting in all caps about Burr, about Musk, about everything. And the more he tweets, the worse it gets. The more he tries to save face, the more ridiculous it all becomes.
Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No, that's not happening. But Elon's done an amazing job. Isn't it nice to have smart people that we can rely on? Right? Don't we want that? He's done a great job. He's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country.
Brian, I'm fine. Very good to see you again. And congratulations.
Trump's ego is the perfect mix of fragility and arrogance. And Burr didn't just attack Musk. He attacked everything Trump had worked so hard to build with Musk. The whole Musk is the future, Musk is the great innovator, Musk is the genius story Trump had been pushing. Bill Burr just showed it as a house of cards ready to fall. The fact that Trump couldn't defend Musk without sounding completely ridiculous only made things worse. Imagine Trump trying to tweet his way out of that situation, talking about how Musk is doing great things, folks, we love him, while knowing that the tech boss had just been roasted by one of the best comedians out there. It's a level of self-damage that only Trump could pull off. And this whole show wasn't just a small issue, it's part of the bigger clash between Trump's need to be the center of attention and Musk's, for lack of a better word, Musk-ness. Musk may have been a political ally, but he's never been the kind of person who follows orders. He does his own thing. He's too busy with his companies, his dreams of Mars, and his Twitter meltdowns to care much about keeping Trump's image intact. Burr's attack on Musk basically broke open the illusion that Trump had built around him. Musk wasn't this perfect genius. He was just another guy with an ego and a few successful projects. And Trump couldn't stand that.
With great difficulty.
Is that idiot Elon Musk?
Oh.
That guy, like he's gonna, who evidently is a Nazi? Like, I just refuse to believe that it was an accidental 2-time Sieg Heil.
Trump's meltdown over Burr's roast only added to the craziness of the situation. You've got a billionaire tech boss who's supposed to be saving humanity by building rockets and electric cars getting torn down by a comedian. And then you've got Trump, the man who claims to be the leader of the free world, losing it on Twitter because his favorite billionaire buddy is getting dragged through the mud. And what does Trump do next? He doubles down. The only thing Trump knows how to do better than anything is to throw gas on the fire. And if the fire's burning Musk's reputation, well, Trump's there lighting the match himself. It's not just the fact that Musk is getting roasted by Bill Burr that bothers Trump. It's the deeper fear that maybe, just maybe, Musk isn't the savior that Trump had made him out to be. If Musk falls, so does part of the illusion Trump had been, working so hard to sell. Trump needs Musk to remain this larger-than-life figure, the kind of guy who can do no wrong. And when Burr took that image and completely cut it to pieces, Trump didn't just lose face, he lost control.
The fact that the Twitter guy he's not even from here. He's from South Africa. He comes to this country and wants to turn it into a fucking dictatorship. He doesn't feel that we deserve democracy. Can you just imagine doing that? Going to another country and just deciding, yeah, you know what? I'm going to change this form of government because I've decided. Yeah, he doesn't mind living under a dictatorship as long as he's on the good side of it. Fucking laminated face cunt.
Bill Burr continues. To dominate the talk about Musk, it's not just Musk who's left wiggling, it's Trump too. You can almost see Trump's Twitter fingers twitching out of control, desperately trying to write something that doesn't sound like a tantrum from a kid who didn't get his way. Burr's sharp jokes hit their mark perfectly, and the more Burr takes, apart Musk's whole cult of personality, the more Trump's whole world starts to feel like it's falling apart. It's like watching two huge egos crash into each other, and neither of them can take the heat. What makes it even better is how funny Burr's takedowns are. It's not just that he's calling out Musk's weird actions and dumb tweets, it's the way Burr does it. He's great at turning the smallest details into amazing roast material, making fun of Musk's grand self-image and then somehow bringing Trump into the firing line without even trying hard. It's like watching a fighter tear apart his opponents only to realize he's fighting an entire army of comedy chaos.
Maybe Elon, he has all this money and power and he thought it was going to fill that fucking void and it didn't. And rather than face it in a panic of the profound loneliness. Okay, and I'm coming from an empathetic place here because I experienced that when I took mushrooms. It's a profound sense of loneliness. And then you either face that and figure out where it is, or you just go full Nazi.
Trump and Musk are both egos on overdrive. They can't stand being questioned, they can't stand being challenged, and they really can't stand being laughed at. So what happens when both of them fall apart in real time right on TV? Pure comedy. Watching Trump try to spin this into some weird defense of Musk while Musk is off in his own little dream world is like seeing two men who built their entire careers on false fronts crumble under the weight of reality. The whole thing is a perfect example of how out of touch they both are, with Burr as the ultimate comedy surgeon cutting through all the nonsense.